Today, I would like to explain array feature in this application. The work of array is to duplicate objects at equal spacing. And we've got three types of array, and they're all here. One is rectangular array. The other one is path array. And the last one is the polar array. Now, the work of the rectangular array is to duplicate object at equal spacing using rows and columns. Let me give you an example. Now, to be able to demonstrate that, I need to have a shape. And in my case, I'll draw a simple rectangle. Here we go. I'll give it a measurement of 2 by 2. So it's going to be a square, like that. Now, let's say, for example, then you want to duplicate this square to come up with maybe something like maybe 100 copies, 1,000 copies, 1,000,000 copies, and so on and so forth. So what you do, you're supposed to click on the square or click on the shape. Then at the top, then you click on it to select it. Then up here, you select what you call the rectangular array. Once you click on the array, as you can see, automatically, it's going to give you some copies. If you look at the top, or when you look at the top up here, you can see we have columns and we have rows. So in my case, I'd like to come up with 400 copies. So what I'm going to do here is that I'll change the columns to 20 and the rows to 20. And you see, the moment you do that, then you press enter, you get those copies. So I now have 400 copies of the shape that I drew. At the same time, you can change the spacing between the rows and the columns. And to do that, well, the spacing as per the way it is right now is 3 units here, 3 units here. I'm going to change this one to 2.2, and I'm also going to do the same here, 2.2. And as you can see, I've been able to come up with 400 copies at a spacing of 0.2 units. This is what you call rectangular array. Let's go to the next one, the path array. The work of the path array is to array or to duplicate objects along a given path. Now, in this case, the path is supposed to be circular. So, number one, I'll create my circular path. I am using an arc. That's going to be the path. I then need to draw the object or the shape that I like to array. In my case, I am going to use this line. So I want to duplicate this line along this curve. Now, to be able to do that, step one, you're supposed to click on that line. Once you've done that, go to the array. But now this time select path array. You see, because I selected the line that I want to duplicate, automatically, you can see I'm being told to select the path. So I just need to click on the path. And the moment you do that, you get copies. Now, you can change the number of copies by changing the spacing between these lines. You see, as you can see, the spacing is even all through. So what I'm going to do here is I'll change this one to something like 0.5. That is space between the lines. And the moment you do that, then you press enter, well, you can see now what is happening. I've got copies placed on the path at equal spacing. This is what you call path array. The other type of array is what you call polar. Polar is circular. To be able to use it, step one, you have to click and drag to come up with a shape. In my case, this is going to be my shape, the one I'm going to use, that is my circle. I'm also going to create the shape that I like to duplicate along that circle. So I want to duplicate this small circle along the outline of this big circle. Now, to be able to do that, this is what you need to do. First, select the shape or the object that you want to array. I've clicked on my circle. Then step number two, up here, you select polar. array. See, the moment you do that, as you can see at the bottom, you'll be required to specify the center point of the array. This means that you select or you click at the center of the circle, this one here. So I'm going to click at this point, and the moment I click here, well, as you can see, I now have multiple circles placed on the outline of that big circle. Now, to change the number of copies, you just need to go to the top, this ribbon bar, change the number of items. I'm going to make it to be 30. Then I'll press enter. What is then going to happen is I'll come up with 30 copies of that circle. This is what we call polar array.